Oh man, is it already that time for FIFA fans? Yep, it is. Please don't be like me. I caved in only because I have friends who actively play this game, so my advice to anybody who just wants to play a good football game, just wait for UFL. Honestly, at least that game is free to play, so you won't have to waste your money on this garbage. EA Sports FC, or FIFA, as some people will still refer to it. One of those games that release yearly, and I'm pretty sure you've seen all the slap that's come out of it. People who make videos about EA FC. There's probably a bunch of videos on there on YouTube now, and my videos, no, not really anything special, but it's coming from the guy whose first introduction to FC was actually 24. I haven't played any FIFA games prior to that, so this was literally my very first introduction to the game. And obviously I don't play a lot of the modes in this game. The only mode I primarily play is clubs, so that's the thing I'm going to be talking about the most. And Ultimate Team is really not something I play all that much, and I think it's only something for football fanatics to enjoy and actually care about, like team chemistry and all that stuff. So this is not the video for that. If you want to watch a video about Ultimate Team, go somewhere else. I only play clubs. This year's iteration is really no different from last year. In terms of the menu, it literally looks the exact same. I'll just put it up on screen right now. It really doesn't look any different, honestly. The only difference is the text and how bold it is, but the boxes and the style of it is literally the exact same thing, when apparently it used to not be like that. I'll show you right here now. That shows like a difference between the older games and how the menu drastically changed from one game to another. And apparently this year they just couldn't even be bothered to change the UI or the menu for this game. So clubs is pretty much the same mode as last year. The only difference is how you actually progress in divisions. That you would have to play and actually win in order to progress to the next division. I think 5 matches, and they would give you chances, and depending on which division you were in, you would get less of them. So in like division 4 to 3, you could lose like 2 matches, and as long as you won more than that, you could progress. Or if it was from division 2 to 1, I think you were only allowed to lose 1 match, and if you lost more than that, you would automatically just stay in division 2. But this year is a little different, because if you lose most of your matches now this year in your current division, you then have to enter what's called a relegation match, which if you lose, you have to then go to the previous division back down. Or if you win, you get to stay in the same division if you just win the match. Honestly, it brings more of a challenge to the game, which I always enjoy, because I'm a gamer at the end of the day. Of course, I'm the world's #1 gamer. You always got to make things harder for me. Other than that, I think the only other difference in clubs is last year, you have obviously your play styles that you put for your own character. And this year, you're actually allowed to put one certain play style that will apply to all the teammates in the club. So say you want relentless, right? Instead of having to apply that on your own character, you can now apply that to the club, and the whole club gets that benefit without having to apply it to their own character. So then they actually save up space for another slot, so they can actually put something more useful to them. But other than that, there's really no difference in how clubs matches play, like the actual gameplay. In terms of gameplay, there's really no difference. It's the same thing, same handling, same sluggish feeling that apparently a lot of people hate. And I mean, obviously, since I haven't played any other previous games, obviously I won't notice the difference, but to a lot of people, they still think it's sluggish. Player career, apparently the one difference they made to player career from the 2 games is that your character actually looks like their age. Apparently that's like a feature now. So apparently last year, if you made your character 18, they could look like they were 30 years old, but now they changed this so where now your character actually looks like their age. So if you make them 18, they look 18. If you make them 30, they look 30. But to me, that is such a useless ass feature, and it's like such a whatever, bro. Who gives a damn about that stuff? And Rush is just a mode that people are gonna abuse to, you know, level up their character. And people keep saying this thing where apparently Rush is what Volta was supposed to be last year, but I honestly don't see why they think that. I have a video where I actually played Volta with my friends, and you can see that we played a match in like this courtyard, and then we played like mini games and stuff like that. Honestly, that to me seems more fun and a much better feature than what Rush is. The only purpose Rush really serves is to level up your club's character, and that's it. Once you level up your character to the max, honestly, I'm not even gonna touch that mode anymore. I honestly wish EA would put real good quality of life features, like let's say a reconnect feature. So if you disconnect during a match in clubs, you can actually reconnect and actually save the match. Honestly, that would help so much. There's so many games I could have, we literally could have saved if I had just had the ability to reconnect in the match. Or let's say character transfers, right? Like, how about porting your character from one previous game to another? Do you know how much time I spent trying to make my character look the same as last year? I spent 3 hours in the character creation just to make my character look similar, and it doesn't even look the exact same. The thing is, the worst part is that this year's character creation is much more intricate, that people are making these horrible abominations, which, don't get me wrong, is funny as hell, and I love seeing these. But if that's the case, why can't you just port your character from EAFC Sports 24? EA Sports, I can't even speak. Why can't you just transfer your character from EA Sports FC 24 to EA Sports FC 25 if they have that much of a change in the character creation and you can have that much more control? It would have saved me such a headache from having to create a brand new character from scratch. But I guess they don't want to make features like that. They'd rather just they'd rather make these useless ass features that nobody cares about. EAFC Sports, or FIFA, however you want to call it, I think it's reached this point where now it should just be a live service game. Now, before you get mad and like get mauling and start growling at the fact that I say it's live service, the reason I say that this game should just be a live service is because there really aren't many changes between each release that actually justify them making a whole new game. I think the EA would be fine with making a game every 3 years or so now, and they can easily just update the cards, the player cards, and the game, and people will literally still buy FC coins to buy out all those player cards and all that other stuff. So I think that they wouldn't really be losing out on much money here. They don't have to constantly worry about the new servers that they have to make for another game. Instead, it could actually set up a server system that actually works for the game. I guess that's just too much work for EA, and you know EA, they don't want to do more work. They always want to do less work and get more money for it. So if there's anything to take away from this video, this short video of mine, just don't cave into buying this, because if you're just playing this game for yourself, just wait for this game to go on sale and maybe then you can consider buying it. But other than that, my advice would be wait for UFL. That game is free. If you just want to play a football game to play a football game, then just wait for UFL, and it has Ronaldo, so the GOAT. But other than that, yeah, I think that's it. See ya. Subscribe, bozo.